working on creating a studio in one of your buildings in the back, and I thought I'd show you what I have done in my building in the back. Started off with this barn, which has nothing to do with the studio, but I had to build the barn in order to have a place to put all of the stuff that had collected inside my office. It was not an office, it was a warehouse. Not even a warehouse, just a dumping ground. And I couldn't move around in there. So this is my office building. It's I think it was a 10 by 16 originally. And I put my books and everything in here. Let me close this door and latch it a little bit so it doesn't come blowing open. It's a blustery day out there today. But here's my office, what was originally my office, and I have a big metal desk over here with a bunch of stuff. There's some green cloth. I'm going to create a green screen with it as time goes on. But this little corner had a wooden desk in it, okay? And so that's what that wooden desk area is what I converted into my studio. And I'll show you what I used mainly for this studio is this moving blankets. I got that trick from a friend of mine who does, well, I never actually met him, but I follow him anyway on YouTube. He does voiceover work, and he said, this is really good sound-absorbing quality material, and it's cheap. So I got a bunch of these at Harbor Freight. 80-inch by 72-inch at Harbor Freight for like, I don't know, $6 now or something like that, $5 or $6. And the 40-inch by 72-inch you can get for less than that. You can get that for, I don't know, $4 or something like that on sale. And so I got a boatload of those. And I started out by hanging a 3/4-inch conduit over here, and a 1/2-inch conduit over here near the door. You can see near the window. I don't know if you can see here, but that window I covered over with 2 inches of styrofoam. I just did that to help keep some of the sound out, but I also put just layers and layers and layers of these moving blankets up here. You can see at the top, these are boards. They're well, just chipboard, as you can see, quarter inch chip, and I wrapped them with terry cloth, which is pretty sound absorbing. Terry cloth is a really sound absorbing material. Just old towels do a great job. Another great sound absorbing material is hanging clothes. So I got a bunch of clothes hanging here, which before I built this, I just used the clothes. I'd stick my head in this closet full of clothes, and that would help absorb the sound. But so mainly I did those boards up there to give me something to staple my blankets to, my moving blankets to, because they would hang down so hard, so far, they'd kind of brush the top of my head, and it wasn't terribly comfortable. But anyway, you can see, okay, I've got this light up here. This is an LED light, which is louder than I want it to be. The other light over there, I'm going to turn off this LED because it hums, it buzzes. This light that remains on, I converted to a silent LED. It's got a silent LED tube, no hum whatsoever. It's silent, really cool. You notice I got my laptop out here. That's what I record with, because the laptop, the fan, you know, it makes noise. And so I have it outside the studio space to minimize the noise. Everything I can do to minimize that noise in there. And I have my little remote control wireless mouse. Step into my parlor. said the spider to the fly. Come look at the inside of my studio. As we come in here, I just part the curtain and step in here, and there's my desk. I've added, I just put some of that moving blanket on top of the desk to absorb the sound. I wrapped this little thing in cloth to absorb the sound. I have layers upon layers upon layers of moving blanket here, all to kind of sound condition. I've got my remote control mouse here that I can use. I just use Audacity to record with. And my monitor's really small, but it doesn't make any noise. And they make them bigger that don't make noise, but it was cheap, you know, and I have a pretty small budget. So that's how I control my laptop from in here without having to worry about the noise of the laptop and so on. So, I mean, this is, as far as a conditioned space goes, it's pretty darn good. I mean, it's not perfect. Like I say, I mean, I can hear loud noises from outside, but very few things will be picked up on a recording in here. I do want to, you know, I got my chair in here that I can sit on. I do want to put some shag carpet down, some fuzzy or bear skin, I don't know, kind of stuff. I'll have to go out and kill a bear or something to put down there that'll be more sound absorbent, because I do have some floor sound issues, you know, coming in through the underneath. My blankets just aren't quite long enough, so if I get some more sound absorption down there, that'll be much better. I will someday, just when I can afford it. So the kind of rug I'm looking for is about $20, and sometime I'll do that. So one important thing I wanted to be sure about in here is that every light source, and I have quite a few because it is so dark with all this dark moving blankets and the dark acoustical tile, I wanted every light source that I had in here to be silent. So that's why I have that's why I made the choices that I made on my light sources there. So I'll just show you this here where you see my corks. I have corks, and I have some styrofoam here, about 1.5 inches thick of styrofoam. All that does is that holds the hat pins that I use to hold my acoustical foam in place. So I just, you know, hold that acoustical foam in place with some hat pins, and the corks kind of keep it from falling out of the moving blankets. One thing I'll mention just briefly, you can see my office way down there, down the hill. I had problems with my wireless router getting a signal down there. So one thing I did have to do before I could actually use my laptop on the internet down there was to put in a wireless repeater. And there's my wireless repeater right there, which picks up the signal from my wireless router, repeats it, sends it down at a antenna angle such that I can pick it up down there, and it's pretty fast. Of course, this is Gig City, you know, Chattanooga, fastest internet in the world. But oh, looky there, looks like I'm making jerky. So I am. Yum. I think I've covered just about everything, and when you come down, you can come in, check it out, and maybe play something in there. If you can squeeze a guitar in there. It is pretty small, but look forward to seeing you again. I wanted to show you this, and just, you know, if it's helpful, great. If not, well, in any case, good to see you again. Bye.